Hello class, my name is Anthony Estrada. I'm a student at Aspen University. This is my video response to Module 4 assignment, video response, practicing listening skills. I chose a speech from Ronald Wilson Reagan named The Space Shuttle Challenger Tragedy Address. I chose the speech due to the fact that in January 1986, I was at Orlando Naval Training Center in Florida watching the event from the marching fields of the naval base. The main point of the speech was to give out the information that the 7 passengers had died and were in a definite tragedy. It was an address to the nation, being that Ronald Reagan was the President of the United States at the time. He spoke on the strengths of the astronauts whose names were Michael Smith, Dick Scobie, Judith Resnick, Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, Gregory Jarvis, and Krista McAuliffe. During the speech, the President gave out several nonverbal cues. The cues conveyed his sorrow, seriousness, and also thankfulness for the astronaut service. He started out the speech stating that coincidentally, he would have been giving a State of the Union that very night. He stated that we mourn their losses as a nation together. One statement that stood out was the fact that he stated that we would never forget them, nor the last time we saw them this morning, as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye and slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God. This statement said everything to me. Not to distract you, but to give you an idea of the connection I had with this particular speech. I was in the United States Navy at the time, and I was actually visually watching the event while in formation on the marching area of Orlando Naval Training Center. We were all in formation, about 80 of us, getting ready for 2 to 3 months of training, and were given the opportunity to witness the Space Shuttle Challenger liftoff. At first we saw the liftoff. Then we saw an explosion. Then the Challenger seemed to veer off in the wrong direction. And it seemed that there was something wrong. We knew that the Challenger should have made an upward course further than it did. It wasn't a mistake that there was something wrong. Even though we were supposed to be quiet, we were all discussing that particular fault and wondering what extent of damage had been done. After standing in formation quietly, we were ordered to go back into the barracks. We were informed that we had been given the rest of the day off due to the tragedy as it was taking place. A television was brought into the barracks so that we could watch the very same speech that I watched on American Rhetoric today. The only distraction that I had was not an activity, but a feeling of actually being in the place at the time of the tragedy. This did affect my ability to listen in that I was focusing on the actual event at the time. I was there. I overcame this quickly and diverted my interest to President Reagan's speech and the facts of the event. I cannot fully explain all of the feelings nor explain the feeling of sorrow I have for the astronauts of the Shuttle Challenger or for their families. From a statement from Ronald Reagan's speech, they had a hunger to explore the universe and discover its truths. They wished to serve, and they did. They served all of us. Thank you.